Race Weekend is brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology.
For one super fun Sunday, streets of Filinvest in Alabang reverberate to the sounds of revving engines and squealing tires. Toyota brings back the Vios Cup to Alabang to bring motorsports closer to the people. And as always, the day is full of thrills, drama, and excitement, as only Toyota's Waku Doki spirit brings. Up next, highlights of the second leg of the 2018 Vios Cup on Race Weekend.
We're here for another installment of your weekly racing habit, this time from Filinvest, Alabang for the second leg of the 2018 Vios Cup. Let's go check it out. It's the second leg of the 2018 Vios Cup. After 3 exciting and closely fought races in all 4 classes of the one-make series at the Clark International Speedway, drivers are all raring to do battle once more and score more points for the championships. The day before race day was for the all-important briefing, coaching, practice, and qualifying at what is called the Metro Manila South Circuit, a racetrack laid out on avenues at the Filinvest in Alabang. 1.74 kilometers long with short straights, leading to tight turns and 2 chicanes at strategic points to slow down the braver drivers. Bringing back the Vios Cup to Filinvest is part of Toyota's plan to bring the one-make race using 110 horsepower stock Vios cars lightly prepped for racing closer to motorsports fans. I'm here with the president of Toyota Motor Philippines, Mr. Satoru Suzuki, to tell us more about the Vios Cup here in Filinvest, Alabang. Hi, sir. Thank you for joining our show.
Thank you.
What is it like for Toyota having the Vios Cup back here in Filinvest, Alabang after 2 years?
Yes, of course, Vios Cup already. This is 5th year, so I hope that everybody knows this event. But usually we have this event in the Clark, but we try to gather more people as much as possible to enjoy our racing. That's why we conduct this event in the Metro Manila this year.
Already in its 5th season, the Vios Cup has certainly changed the perception of people about Toyota's entry-level sedan. The races on the track and 2 years ago on the same street have given enough sporty credit to the Vios model to add to the Toyota rep for quality, durability, and reliability.
The concept of this one-make race, using one model for the entire race for all participants, is to show the public that the Vios is truly a car of quality, durability, and reliability. And this is a promise that we want to give to our customers. Whether it's current generation Vios or the all-new Vios that we just launched, you will have the same QDR.
Bringing the race over to Filinvest also provides the perfect opportunity to launch the all-new Vios in the best of light. The whole Vios Cup weekend was all about showcasing the excitement the Vios can bring. A music fest of the country's best rock bands associating the Vios to the younger crowd and the formal public launch of the latest generation Vios.
Now it's a good time for Toyota, for Toyota Motor Philippines. We just launched the Vios. So on top of the Vios Cup, which we're having now, we also have a lot of activities to launch our new vehicle. Just yesterday, we had the first ever Toyota Music Fest. So in that Music Fest, we had a long line of the most popular bands in the Philippines. We had 14 bands, and we're happy that there are a lot of followers and music enthusiasts who joined us yesterday. Also here in Alabang, because all this is part of our effort. As we all know, Vios is our most important model.
But for motorsports fans, the highlight of the Vios weekend is the races. Race day featured 6 races, 2 races each for the combined promotional and celebrity classes, the sporting class, and the super sporting class. The first race of the day for the combined celebrity and promotional class thrilled fans, motorsports fans, and the fans of the showbiz types in the competition. Sam Milby led the way for much of the 14-lap race with Diego Loizaga chasing him. Fabio Ide and Troy Montero were also in the chase. But late in the race, Milby crashed, gifting the lead and the win to Diego.
I'm still shaking. I'm still shaking. I almost cried inside my car. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, Sam and I talked about it, and I know Sam is the better driver. He had like a 7-8 second lead in front of me. Sadly, there was a mistake. No one wants that to happen, but because of it, I won by default. Sad to say, but I still won. Okay, I'm gonna be happy about this. It's racing. Yeah. So I'm still gonna. I can't. Words cannot explain what I'm feeling right now. I'm ecstatic.
Sam Milby's crash also promoted Fabio Ide to second and Troy Montero to third in their class.
My run was okay. We were doing kind of like a follow the leader kind of thing. It was very hard to overtake, especially the circumstance and the situation of the track. And then it was okay. Si Sam unfortunately went through an accident, and then Diego overtook, got the first place. I was already in fourth place, became third overall, and then second celebrity.
Running at the same time with the celebrity class was Gino Rufino, who was competing in the promotional class. He was running behind Sam Milby for much of the race, while leading those competing in the promotional class. When a checkered flag waved signaling the end of the race, Rufino was running second overall while being first in his class.
I had a plan of giving some space to Sam and Diego, even though I'm not racing against them. So I was number one overall in my category. But there's a different feeling when you cross the finish line first, right? So I was thinking I could, so I gave them a little bit of space, hoping that they would, mess up each other and then I'll overtake them. But it didn't happen. Well, unfortunately for Sam, he didn't finish. So when I saw that, I figured, I'm already first. What's the point? What's the point of doing it? Why push? So we just maintained and then survived and managed to be first place. So it's gonna be fun.
The sporting class had a crowded 12-car grid and also was a cracking race. The short course and the tight corners leaving not much room for overtaking. So much of the movement up and down the positions came down to drivers committing mistakes and those behind them taking advantage. Victor Buensuceso of Toyota Makati ended up on top of the podium. Red Diva of Toyota Isabela ended up second, while Kiko Disico of Toyota Cabanatuan took the bottom step of the podium.
I was third overall. Luckily, one of the second guy smashed the wall, so fortunately I got second.
The first race of the super sporting class was just as action-packed as those in the less experienced classes. It was a tight fight between Estefano Rivera of Team Avengers and Dominic Ochoa of Team TQA. Raymond Ronquillo and Keith Brian Howe of the Avengers and Ira Medrano of Parts Pro Racing made up the top 5. Towards the end of the race, Estefano Rivera pushed Dominic Ochoa hard enough to pressure the Team TQA drivers into a mistake.
Well, first it's the same lap, he overtook me, I made a mistake, I have no more brakes. Then I was like, I need to find a way. And yeah. Then the second to the last turn, there was an opening, I went for it. And kudos to Dominic, he gave room. Some people won't give room, that would be a crash already and both of us out of the race. But he gave room and I'm just happy.
Yung race ko naman kanina, basically, walang nagbago dun sa grid position namin. So, pang 5th ako nag-start and then nag-end ako sa race, pang 5th pa rin. And then all throughout the race, sinusundan ko lang si Keith, which is yung 4th place. And then, nag-drive smart lang ako, parang walang bangga, walang aksidente and all. Gusto ko lang tapusin yung race kasi yung important thing is yung race 2, meron pa mamaya.
While the podium finishers of each of the first races were happy with their performance, they knew they would have a tougher time to repeat or better their achievements in the second race of the day. Vios Cup rules meant to equalize and tighten the fight for the championship called for the top 6 finishers to start the next race in reverse order.
Preparations, well, it's reverse grid, I'll be starting on 6th. And I'm just gonna enjoy it, I'm happy I have a win. And hopefully I get a better position. Yeah.
Well, it's a reverse grid, so since I finished second on the grid, that means I'm gonna be starting from 5th. So I'm gonna have Fabio in front of me, Troy in front of me, and then the other two guys who finished behind me. And it's and Diego behind me. So it might get a little bit interesting in the second race, and hopefully the weather holds up so that we can have some good action.
This second race, I'm starting at 4th place, and I have this success ballast from the previous race, so I'm heavier than the other guys. I'm heavier by 60 kilos. Probably I'll just try to maintain my position. If I have this opportunity to overtake, I'll take it. But I just want to finish the race so I could have a good points for the championship going to Clark.
True to some of their fears, the second races of the day saw the advantage shifting to the All-Sarans. Troy Montero ended up winning in the celebrity class, Fabio Ide finishing second, Chi Filomena third, Diego Laizaga was a DNF. Gino Rufino started 5th and drove well enough to get into the podium in 3rd. Ryan Curie of Toyota Cebu ended up on top with Ellis Menorca of the Avengers in 3rd. In the day's second race of the sporting class, Lord Seno started 2nd in the grid after finishing 5th in the first race and finished ahead of the field. Kiko Disico of Toyota Cabanatuan joined Seno on the podium in 2nd. Red Diwa drove well enough to finish 3rd. Starting in 6th place in Super Sporting Class Race 2, Race 1 winner Estefano Rivera didn't make up a place and finished in 6th where he started. Brian Go of Team Bisqueg topped Race 2 with Ira Medrano defending her starting position to finish 2nd, with Raymond Ronquillo ending up 3rd.
And that concludes our coverage of the second leg of the 2018 Vios Cup. My name is Wee Gamboa. See you next week.
It will surely be a long wait for the final leg of this year's closely fought Vios Cup. The wait made longer for fans and competitors anxious to experience anew the Toyota Waku Doki spirit.
This week's feature on Race Weekend has been brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology. These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.